Welcome to round 2 for Pirates of the Dark Sea. As you can hear now, the Prince Harold's Gambit has its own theme song. And, for matches where there is a theme song for many of the ships, I won't be including extra music, but I'll go ahead and let this play through. The Prince Harold's Gambit by Leoch, I think is a serious contender in this tournament. The total cost, 99,475 out of 100,000. It features working swivel sails with video projected flags, which will be revealed when the battle starts. And yeah, the sail work on this is actually quite well done. As you can tell, it has its own theme song and functional gun ports for the cannons. So as you can see, they're all closed up right now. That will change once the battle begins. It has a semi-walkable interior, so yeah, unfortunately there's no way to get from one level to another. It's got 12 repair lots and fun large stacks of coal painted like gold. And here you can see them, and I think that's a nice touch. Just like a hole full of treasure. So the top speed is 32 meters per second out of 35 possible. So it's steam and sail propelled, and that's actually on the top end for ships in the tournament. I think this is actually one of the fastest ships. Armor, 21.2% of total cost, which is pretty decent. It's kind of like mid-top range. Firepower, 117.8 in simple cannons. I think that this ship, on its own, has the most weaponry out of all the ships in the tournament. There are some entries that have multiple ships that have more, but as a single ship, this takes the cake. And it has 24 32-pound swivel guns, 9 per side, 4 in the front, 4 in the back and 2 in the front. 30 revolving blast guns, 15 per side. Yeah, that's a lot of DACA. And 160 64-pound cannons. 4 in the rear, 4 in the front, and 76 per side. So this thing is packing. And then our other entry, which is actually quite meme, and those who are familiar with the Marauder will get a kick out of this. The Long, Long Marauder by Adnecrius. Top speed on this one, 11 meters per second. The paddle and ion propelled. It sports twin escort ships, scimitars. And you'll have some sound box playing when it actually battle begins. The 8 repair bots, switchable broadside AI, which is quite nice for the style of engagement. The 7 ammo makers, well, yeah, I mean, fair, okay. And the ship is actually walkable. It's much like the Marauder, just a very meme variant. The armor cost on this, 26.5 total cost. Total firepower, 42.43, and that's on the main ship here, the Long, Long Marauder. 164 cannons total, 12 times 16-pound cannons. And I think this is actually the only one that used any of the 16-pound. 36, 32-pound swivel cannons per side. 36, 64-pound cannons per side. And 3 rams in the front, much like good old friend, the regular Marauder. Then the scimitar ships are... they're there's a fair amount of mimic work involved, but they are, in my opinion, interestingly made. So top speed, 13 meters per second, 23.7 cost in armor. Mimic game, yeah, pretty strong. Ion and paddle propelled, and yeah, these paddles, I think they're functional. They seem to be. I'm not sure whether they're, paddling in the right direction. Sometimes they do seem to reverse. That's fair. But yeah. Armament, they pack an HE cram. Crams are allowed, but they are with certain restrictions, quite harsh restrictions actually. You can have a maximum of 750 pack. There are 3 fuses that are allowed. There's HE, which needs to be set with max. I think it was. I think it was 50 or 75 on speed, and 0.05 seconds after impact. And yeah, it has each of these has one front-mounted HE cram. I think the other might be frag. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, yep. No, they're the same. Okay. Yeah, 2 front-mounted 64-pound cannons, 5 32-pound swivel guns per side, 2 revolving blast guns per side, and 4 back-mounted 64-pound cannons. So we shall see the battle of, fairly massive amounts of weaponry going at it. Let us start the battle. Oh yeah. Yeah. Those sound blocks versus these sound blocks. And those blast cannons. That volley. Yes. Epic slowed mo. That strains my computer, but ooh boy. Ooh boy. It looks like the Long Marauders had a little accident. Let's check the damage here. Looks like a couple of holes punched in there. Yeah, a few places, but alrighty. Still functional. Cram coming in. Nope, that missed. Just the disparity between these two themes. It's like, okay. Looks like the tail end on this Marauder is getting taken out. I don't know if the cannons, the local weapons, are set up to aim for the steering or not. I don't know. But it sure is going for this paddle back here. Or maybe it's just choosing some of the blocks back here, but yeah, it's a little unfortunate. But unfortunately, it seems like the HE cram just keeps missing. Oh, there we go. That was a hit. Anything damaged? Just punched a little hole in there. Hole? I do rather love the theme for it. It's quite loud, but good music. Oh, I think the masts just went down. Yep. And those were actually functional masts. I do believe, so yeah. Slows it down somewhat. That was a nice little cram hit there at the back. Sizable chunk. Unfortunately, the long Marauder has a ways to catch up if there's any hope for it. I mean, this damage here in that collision in the beginning has certainly set it back on HP. Where the Prince Harold's Gambit still, has a full 92.6. And is eating through materials fairly fast. There's 15,000 materials budget for each entry, and that's split between however many ships they have. But yeah, the Prince Harold's Gambit is just, eating them like candy. Actually, why? I'm just noticing that the Long Marauder has a rather mysterious over budget on materials. There may have been some material storage in there that I missed somehow. I'm not sure why that's the case. But it does look like Prince Harold's Gambit is currently winning anyway, so yeah. I'm not sure what happened on that, whether I missed it. I checked each of the entries. It's a little odd. Oh, that blast gun volley. And that's 2 damaged on one of the scimitars. Prince Harold's Gambit is working on getting those sails back online. The masts are back up. Sails not quite yet, but seeing as it has other propulsion as well, it's not hindering it too much. And that's the time limit. So Prince Harold's Gambit sitting at 92% on HP, and Long Marauder only 16. So, also, one other thing that I should mention on this tournament is that there has been an aesthetics vote for each entry, and that plays a factor in the end HP per match. So, for instance, with this match, the Long Marauder has a 1 HP advantage over the Prince Harold's Gambit, but in this particular case, that doesn't really matter too much. But it could play a factor in some matches. And let us get started on round 2. Okay. Funnily enough, I've actually seen the commercial that sound block was taken from, and I had recommend checking it out at some point. I can possibly link it if asked in the Discord channel arena. Oh, my computer can barely handle it. Luckily it can. It can, but oh my goodness. The pure destruction. Now, one thing that I think is wise is that the blast cannons, or the rotary, blast guns, shred sails. And in a tournament where sails are one of the expected methods of propulsion, including them, I think is a wise choice, because truly, they do take them down like nothing else. The poor scimitar getting in the way of that blast. Oh, I had a cram hit. Just a nice little trail of splinters. Oh. It's that time again. The pure destruction. I love it. Yeah, unfortunately, when those volleys come, it distorts the sound for my computer. It's just that intense. I don't think the detection's set up very well for these being able to tell friend from foe. I mean, they seem to be trying somewhat, but I mean, there's some inaccuracy for the game, so I think there might be some friendly fire happening. Each volley from Prince Harold's Gambit is just devastating by comparison. Did the sound block get taken out? Might have. Might have. Well, don't think there's an actual end to that theme. But as you can see, even without sails, the Prince Harold's Gambit is quite speedy. Just that steam propeller provides a lot of thrust. And just, oh, point blank broadside. Strafing shots. Just getting in there, getting aggressive. I think that's what you need to do, sort of, for this tournament, just to bring a lot of guns. A lot of cannons. Cram shot coming in. And hitting. Poked a hole in the side. And that's a few cannons taken out. Unfortunately, there are just so many. It doesn't really slow it down that much. And the long Marauder. 2 damaged. It's going to despawn shortly. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. Still got the scimitars. But, I don't know. That's a lot of work to do. I mean, how can you possibly win without a Marauder on your side? Okay. Yeah. Still without sails and sound block, the Prince Harold's Gambit is no less fierce. Smoke making it hard to see what got damaged there. It looks like part of the upper deck got taken out. Maybe a couple of cannons? Oh, just that passing broadside. It's like that one scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where the captain's just, walking down as everything's exploding behind him. I feel sorry for whoever's piloting or captaining the poor scimitar here. But that's time limit, and as far as HP, Prince Harold's Gambit 87.1 to Long Marauder's effective 32.7. So once again, Prince Harold's Gambit takes it by layoff, and he will be winning the first round, and unfortunately Long Marauder lost the first round. And so I'll be back once again shortly with the third match.